Hey there Titan, so this video will talk about version management within your Titan web project. Alright, so first thing, let's see how we enable it and some of its features. So we'll head over to tools and I'll hit enable versions and I'll take a look. Right now I have no versions at all. Another option is use GitHub. You can use GitHub to manage your versions. Just click the eye icon here and it will explain all about it. And this video will talk about the Titan version manager. Alright, so I'll hit apply and I'll save. And if I'll go back to my versions, I see that I have a version saved here. So let's say I'll move this back here and I'll save it. And I'll go back to my versions and I can see that I have this version. A few things here. You can search versions. You can look at start date, end date, filter them. You can see if you had a commit or save, and a commit means that you've published your project, and very, very important to give it a name. And once I will commit this, it will publish the project. And if I'll go back to my versions, I can see that I have a commit. You can see that it looks different. You have a different sign, a different color sign, and you get a description. And now I'll be able to search this. Super important. And if I'll hit view, I can see all the stuff that happened here. Who is the user that committed it, the user that published it, what time it was published, what's the runtime version, date, description, and name. Notice to use this so I can always roll back to my version. So I can see that everything is here, and whenever you roll back, it's not just going to change back the UI, it will change back all the settings of the project, including your Salesforce integration, everything that was in the first version that you roll back to, everything will be back on that version. And I'll commit this again, and now it's published, and just like before, I can see all the data within the version. Another cool thing is, so if I'll head over here and I'll export this project real quick. And let me just switch my user. And what I will do here, let's take a look at the versions first. I see I have no versions here, it was just exported, so I'll save this and publish. Let's commit this real quick, and obviously now we will get this and the version. So we see a save, we see a commit, everything is great. Now let's go back over here. And I'll switch my user back to my original account, and I'll go back to the donation portal, and let's say we'll make this change again, and I'll save, and now let's go and export, and I'll do this real quick. I'll switch to, let's just call this to my production account. And I'll go back to the donation portal and the production. And I can see that this was moved, but still not published yet. But if I'll go back and take a look at the versions, our export wasn't right. So we want to make sure we do remove existing. And now we will go back to our account, production account. And I see the change. Again, it's not published yet, but if I'll head over to the versions, I can see that I have two versions here that was created for me automatically. The one before override and the one that's after override. And what I could do is, if I go back, I push it from sandbox, remove existing to production. This is just for web. I'll get this cool feature of you could use revert back to what was before the override if you don't like what you see, and then you could just save it, ignore the changes, and publish. You have all the power here to decide if you want to accept the version, accept the commit or not. Either way, you will have to publish it in order for the changes to take place on the production environment for the users that's using the published URL. And it's how it's done.